I'm Claire from Created the Otta. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up here in the UK. Thank you for joining me. This is my weekly craft along video. So, shall I show you what we're making today? Ta-da! Look at these. What is it? Look, one Christmas one and one birthday one. It is a diagonal funfold card. Yep, you heard it right, diagonal. And you unfold it, I unfold it that way, you can see you get two from one piece of card. So it's absolutely perfect. Saves you time, saves you lots of energy. You can just use up what stash you have and you can just make it your own. So this is made with Stampin' Up supplies. As a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I love to use what Stampin' Up sell. It's the main reason I became a demonstrator, because you get a great discount. I love all their coordinating papers. The colours just go together really well. So this is from the main catalogue, which is this big one here. Okay, and there's lots and lots of goodies in there. And then the Beary Christmas one is from their new mini catalogue for Christmas. And there's a whole suite of products that go with this one as well. If you're interested in using the same stock or stash as me, then you can shop with me at createdtheottaway.co.uk. Right, shall we get crafting? So I've shown you what we're making. I've shown you that you can get two pieces, two cards from one piece of A4. Is there anything else I need to tell you? I'm using these dies, again from Stampin' Up. They're the stylish, what are they called? Stylish shapes dies, and you get circles that layer. They've got some stitching detail on. I don't know if you can see that on the cards. Love a bit of stitching detail on the edge in there, just there. You've got four that are these shapes, so they're perfect for your sentiments. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares that layer it into each other, and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Ooh, 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares, 6 circles. That's amazing. So there's an awful lot of dies there. If you're looking to get the best value from what you ordering something like this that you're going to use for loads of different projects, no matter what your theme is or the project that you're making, that would be a good buy. So, what else do I need to tell you? So I haven't put a piece of paper on every single piece, as you can see. I probably will go back and put something in there, not because it's going to be seen, but it looks a bit unfinished without it, doesn't it? On this one, I've put a piece of card here so I can write my personal message. I did think about jazzing that up even more, but I think there's so much decoration on the rest of the card that it really doesn't need it. And this is what I love to do. I love to show you how to do the basic fun fold or the shape or the project, and then you go off and make it your own. And I love to see that. So I get lots of emails and pictures, but I am really happy with that. My main passion in life is crafting, apart from my family, and I love to see your inspiration, and it just feeds each other ideas, doesn't it? So this is the other one here. Right, enough waffle. I'm determined not to waffle. So what do you need? Let me put that there while I'm just gathering a few bits. You can contact me via email, text. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram and Facebook. So get in touch. We just need very few supplies today, which is really exciting, isn't it? You don't have to go and grab loads of stuff. Just get your piece of card, some beautiful paper that you love, and the rest will happen as we craft along. So a base card, you need an A4 sheet of card, okay? That's what you're going to need. Sometimes the A4 is ever so slightly over 11 3/4, so it doesn't really matter with this card. Let me show you. So on this one, which I haven't finished yet, you can see it slightly goes over, and that's because the base piece of card was slightly more than 11 3/4, but you don't notice it. It's ever such a fraction. It's only if I show it to you that you notice, and you could trim that off really easily. So if you're very precise with your measuring, make sure that you start off with an 11 3/4 piece of paper. So I need my paper trimmer. Hopefully you've screenshot that, and I'll explain it as we go along. So I've got a Stampin'Up trimmer because it's got a scorer and a cutting blade all in one. And what I need to do is turn my A4 sheet. I am actually just going to check this is 11 3/4, just in case. No, that's fine, absolutely fine. So the shorter end, make sure that is the bit that you're going to be up where your cutting line is. So the numbers along my trimmer are at the top here, and this is what I'm using as my guide. So I am finding 6 inches, which is right at the end of this piece here, and I'm going to use my paper trimmer. So I'm going to put all of the blades out the way. There's some stuck on there. The blades are right out the way, so no blades at all. And I've got a pencil, and it's at 6 inches. And where I would cut, I'm just putting a little pencil mark, okay? So can you see there's a tiny little pencil mark there on one side of the shorter end. And I'm going to flip it completely round the other way. And I'm going to do it exactly the same again. So no cutting, no scoring, but I'm using my pencil to put a little mark just at 6 inches again. So what you end up with is a mark. Let me turn it sideways so you can see. A mark there, and then a mark here. And you're going to join them up on your cutting blade. Now the A4 will overhang where your cutting area is, so it will hang over on this top bit here, but that's fine. So we're going to cut. What you're looking to do is line up this pencil mark with this pencil mark, and in order to do that you have to turn your paper a bit sideways, so to your eye it doesn't look right, but it's fine. So we've marked up there, it's there, and the bottom one is right down here. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut all the way along, and then what you end up with, oh, except for it hasn't cut. Rose, wait a minute. Let's see, why didn't that cut? Now didn't put enough pressure on it. So what you end up with is 2 pieces like this, okay? If I turn that round, it's my A4 sheet cut in half. Now we need to do a couple of score lines on here, so it's better if you've got a flat edge along the top rather than your diagonal edge. So make sure you've got your flat edge along the top. Just move that one out of the way. And what we're looking to do is score at 3 7/8. So 3 7/8 sounds like a scary number. If you're struggling with 8ths and 16ths, if you go to the 4-inch mark and go back 2 lines by the 4, make sure your cutting blade's out the way and score, okay? So 3 7/8 in centimetres is 9.8 centimetres. And then we'll slide it along, and we're going to do it at 7 3/4, which is 19.7 centimetres. And that is your card done. Okay, so we're going to fold it one way, fold it the other. Okay, so you get one that way. So put that one to one side, bring the other one back in. Hang on, Rose. 3 7/8. Score X. We're doing 2 at the same time. And 7 3/4. Rose, every time I start filming, it's like you've got a sixth sense. Okay, so that is the other one. Okay, so if I bring that back in, you can see you've got 2 cards ready to go. Now, there's no right or wrong which way round you want to have it. You could have one that way and one that way, so they open different. It's your card, design it your way. I'm just going to let Rose out. Goodness me, if it's not children, it's animals. Right, so we've got our cards ready to go. I'll bring one back in. So this is our card piece. Now what we need to do is cover this in designer series paper. Okay, so decide which way round you want your card to be, whether you want it opening like that or whether you want it opening like that. Okay, like I say, there's no right or wrong, it's however you want it to be. This is your card. Okay, then what you need to do is decide on your designer series paper. Right, so I have made 3 choices here. 1, 2, 3, and these are from the Beary Christmas range. So what I thought is I would have that pattern at the top, then that pattern, and then that pattern. What do you think? Or that pattern at the top, that pattern, and that pattern? Well, actually that probably looks nicer, so I'm going to go with that. Should we just have a sneaky peek what's on the other side? Because Stampin' Up always do 2-sided paper. Oh, look at the polar bear. I'm going to be gluing him down. Oh, don't think about it, Claire. Okay, so that's my choices. So how do I make this fit onto my paper? So I've decided that's what I want it to be like. So let's do this one first. I've cut my paper already into strips that are 3 3/4 wide. Okay, 3 3/4 is just ever so slightly smaller than the panel that I've got, and you can see that it fits on really nicely on there, but it overhangs quite a bit. So how do I get a correct line? So what I do is place the paper where I want it to be, fold my card over to hold it in place, flip it over, and then I've got my pencil and I just use the edge of the card as my guide. I just cut it off there. Okay, so you can see there's a line along there. So I'm going to cut that on my paper trimmer. So I line up my pencil line there and there, like so. And then top tip, if you're cutting at an angle, it's easy to dent in the sides of your paper. So lift your paper trimmer up, push it down in the middle. You can hear it sort of grip into the paper, and then slide up and down, and that gives you a really nice crisp edge. Okay, so if I bring that back over, and before I glue it, I just have a look. Really nice, perfect edge on there, but it goes right to the end. So I'm just going to cut a piece off at the bottom, and again I'm going to do it in the middle, and it's easier to cut the bottom, just that tiny sliver, then the top diagonal again. But this time when I put it on there, it gives me a nice border all the way round. So that's my first piece. Okay, should we stick that on? Because I think that this could get confusing otherwise. Let's stick that on. So I've got Tombow glue because it gives me a bit of wiggle room. And I'm just putting some glue all over those really nice cute polar bears. Don't think about it, Claire. Okay. And then putting it on my back panel, just making sure before I glue it I've got a nice even border all the way around. Okay, like so. So that's my first bit, and you can see how effective it is already. So now I need to do this bit. So the next piece I decided was this piece, wasn't it? So let's have a look. If I put that up there, I'm not going to see any bears. Do I want to see some bears? Yeah. So I've already cut it to the right width, so it's 3 3/4. I'm actually going to just chop it off a bit now so I can get a better idea, because it's so long it's not manageable. There you go, that's a bit more manageable, isn't it? So if I put that on there, I'm going to cut that bear off. Does that matter? I don't think so. Right. So this time I'm doing the same. I'm putting my panel of DSP in the exact place that I want it, bringing this bit over to hold it in place, flipping it over, and then just doing a diagonal line so I know where to cut. So that gets cut on there. Put the cutting blade in the middle, go up, go down, done. Okay. Let's bring this back over. Before I glue it, I want to check that there's enough wiggle room. So it just needs a little bit of an edge coming off the bottom. And like I say, it's easier to do the edge at the bottom than it is to cut off a sliver at the bottom than it is on the diagonal. So that will come back in there like so. Lovely. Okay, let's glue that in. So when this Beary Christmas paper first came out in the catalogue, it wasn't my first choice. There's so many beautiful papers with Stampin'Up, it's really hard. But yeah, this one wasn't my first choice, just mainly because I haven't got lots of children to give to. I've got one granddaughter, fairly new, she's 17 months. So I was like, let's go for some of the more, what word am I looking for? The shiny papers, the really stylish papers with all the beautiful patterns on, rather than ones with polar bears all over it. And then, I don't know what happened, I needed to make something. Oh, we were doing paper swap. Right, let me get the last bit when I'm talking. So again, this bit, I'm going to cut it down a bit so it's a bit more manageable for me. There you go. And this bit is going to go on the front. So this time I haven't got something to hold it in place. So I'm just going to flip that over like so. Get my pencil and just cut it across. And we're on to the third bit. Yes, so at Created the Otta Way, we had a bit of a paper share going on. It's a great way if you're ever interested in seeing lots of different papers for a bargain price, then get in touch. We had 60 sheets of 6x6 and I think it was £15, which obviously I joined in with my own paper share, but I got to see lots and lots of different paper all at once. And this was one of them, and I just absolutely loved it. I love the different snowflake sizes. I like the colours that are on there. I'm a big fan of Night of Navy and Balmy Blues and Old Olives, and yeah, it just really took my fancy. So I've ordered some, and since I've had it, I have not stopped playing with it. I think all of my last few makes have been with this Beary Christmas paper because it's just so lovely, and it's really easy to work with because you've got big designs, you've got little designs, and some of the paper has got animals and scenes on it that you can fussy cut, a bit like this one here. So most of the, well, all of these animals are fussy cut. It's just the tiny little trees that are from another die set, from the Zoo Cruise set actually, but the rest of it is all fussy cut, so it's perfect. Real love for this. So there's our card already. Okay, so that's going to be my piece where I'm going to put my personal message. So I need to get a different colour card on there, maybe a balmy blue, just so that you can see where I'm writing. This is going to be how it looks from the front. So now I'm going to decorate it. I'm going to do it similar to the one that I did before. So like I was saying, the Beary Christmas paper has lots of different bears on it, doing all sorts of things. So I have fussy cut a load of those out. It's quite a nice activity to sit next to your hubby while he's watching some sort of sport, and it looks like you're really interested, but actually you're sitting fussy cutting. So I'm going to use some of those. I've also got some of the presents that are on the present paper. Let me just show you. So I just had lots of off-cut bits, so I've just cut around the presents, and we may or may not use those. The trees are from the Zany Zoo die sets. I know they're quite small compared to the polar bear, but I just love dies that give a little bit of added detail. And then I've used these from the stylish, what was it called? Stylish Shapes. How could I forget that? The Stylish Shapes. So we're going to use those as our sentiments. So let's have a look. I have got a couple of sets with me. So we are going to use Make the Season Sparkle. Yeah, which one should we have? The Make the Season Sparkle. Should we put that one on there? Okay, so I've got block. I've also got a blue with me. What blue is it? Oh, Misty Moonlight. Don't you just love that? I love a bit of Misty Moonlight. So we are just going to put that on that. And I can see that I'm upside down, so let's hope that this fits on. Oh, perfect. So there's one of those. What else is in this sparkling snowflakes? Let It Snow. We definitely need that. I'll have a polar bear without a sentiment that says Let It Snow. Now, what I've done with this one, or what I thought I'd done, so I've cut one of these, but then I've die cut it halfway across to make it smaller. So can you see? So let me show you what I mean. Oh, here it is. So I've die cut one like that, just normal, and then I've put it back in the die cutting machine like that, and I've moved it along, and you can feel, because of the stitching, you can sort of wobble the die a bit, and you can feel, and it slots back into place. And then I've run it through the die cutting machine again, and it's taken that bit off. So now I've got a smaller label, and that hopefully is perfect for Let It Snow. Yep. And then winter greetings I think we need on this one. I think we need it down one end. or winter wishes. Winter greetings, because then we're using all of the sparkling snowflakes. And I'm putting it this end because I want the tree to be that end. I'll explain as we put it together. So although there's a big long label, I've just used half of it. So if I bring this back in, let's start putting it together. So this is going to go here, and this is going to go there. Now on my other one, I tucked it behind, but I think I'm going to just put it on the edge there. So this is going to be propped up at one end with a dimensional, okay, like so. And somewhere around here I have got a bone folder. Oops, sorry, I just realised that I knocked that. So I'm just going to shape those edges just like that so they stick up a bit, because I want the card to be a little bit 3D-ish. That is going to go there, like so. And then my bear and my tree are just going to fit in there. So the bear needs to have some dimensionals on him on one side, just going down there, like that. Because I want to make sure he's really stuck down well. But the tree is just going to have some glue, because the tree is going to be a bit flatter, like so. And I'm just making sure that the star doesn't overhang. And I need a little baby dimensional. Have you seen them? Look, they're tiny. They're really cute. And that is going to go... Can a dimensional be cute? Yeah. I think it's the hexagon shape. Just going to put that tiny one there so that the star stays in place. Okay. Now, this one... Oh, I think we should put him there. What do you think? And then this one up here. Is there any others? We've got this one. Maybe he should be there. Okay. Make the season sparkle. That could go there. And again, I think I'm going to do the same trick where I'm just going to rub the corners of this. Put one dimensional down one end and glue on the other end. So it just lifts one end, like so. And then the bear, I'm going to put one dimensional on his present, but glue on one side of him. So again, he is a little bit 3D as well. Like so. And this one, he's going to be there, and he's saying, let it snow. Actually just going to put that, I'll put that one on first, and I'm just going to stick him down with some glue, just like that. I can overhang him a bit because I know there's enough room in my envelope, like so. And a dimensional or two in the middle, like so. And I think we might be there. I don't think this one needs any trees. Okay, let's have a look. What about some presents by the tree? Do we need some presents? I don't know that we do actually. Ooh, what about some trees? Let's have a look. Trees are quite good. Oh, trees are quite nice actually. Let's put a few trees on there. So tree there. Oh. Tree. There's two sizes of trees, so, and then this one could be put on with a dimensional, the little one, just so it raises it up, like so. Yeah, that adds a bit more detail. And then two trees down here, although what is it they say? 3s and 5s. When you're crafting, you should always do odd numbers. Right, we need another tree then. I don't know if we do. I think I'm going to leave it. Oh, could have used him with the little rabbit. Never mind, next card. I think we're there. Okay, I think it needs some little sparkly bits just to highlight it. But that is it. Ta-da! We have made our diagonal card. Let me bring back the other one so you can see. Okay, so can you see these go two separate ways? There's that one. And then here is our original Zany Zoo one. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that little craft along. Pop back here every week. If you subscribe and press the little notification bell, it will tell you when I post a new video. And get in touch with your crafty makes. Happy crafting!